Alright guys, time to go back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, as many Call of Duty amateurs try and make the switch to Halo for this year of competition. RC's roasts a fair number of them, saying that look, if your teamwork wasn't good in Call of Duty, you are going to get absolutely bodied over in that side of things. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button, so the best thing you can do to help this channel reach more people. Please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from Slasher a few days ago now should have kept letting me run things. SWL, the Slasher World League, of course. A few years ago, people always used to talk about the Slasher World League, which was effectively where Slasher was considered like the head of the gentleman's agreements. The effectively all the rule sets and the decisions and stuff like this were being made, you could argue, by Slasher. Of course, it's basically a meme, but you know, Slasher was considered to be kind of the head of the GAs when stuff like this happened. Nowadays, it doesn't really seem like he's too involved with this type of stuff, which is quite interesting. I would like to see him getting a little bit more involved, to be honest, because generally has good ideas on some of this stuff, which of course, a lot of things are going to get GA'd and need to be changed in the game as it currently stands. And well, hopefully the CDL can actually react to that, put some sort of rule set out, because look, at the end of the day, the APAC region is sitting over there without even an announcement yet on what the challenger scene is going to be. There's no proper rule set in place, and you know, we don't even know what's going on right now, so it's honestly pretty chaotic at the present time. This also, I thought, just from Gunless a couple of days ago, there was some talk right before this game came out that during the off-season, right, that okay, Sledgehammer Games, they're can take competitive really seriously this year. It's going to be a great title, and well, apparently that didn't really end up to be the case, because at least, well, some people might really enjoy it, but for competitive, there's no real denial right now that it's not in a particularly good state. And as Bastini says, straight up love lies, right? So yeah, frustrating that there was a lot of talk about the support for this game, the competitive support, and maybe there are elements of the dev team that are really interested in supporting competitive, but they might really just not have the functions to be able to do that for whatever reason. It clearly hasn't been the case. This launch is probably the worst title we've ever seen for competitive play, to be quite honest. And as a result of that, there's a fair few players that are looking to switch elsewhere. Mental, of course, he last year was on Los Angeles Guerrillas for a time, former Gears of War player. Kind of funny how he's kind of switching around. He comes from Gears of War, comes into the Los Angeles Guerrillas Academy, wasn't anything particularly special on that team, but did get a shot in the starting team. That didn't really work out too well either, and now he's going to Halo. So joining, I suppose, the E United squad going into next year, so that's pretty exciting to see how these guys get on. But of course, there's been plenty of talk the last few days from Morks, for example, on how well he's going to leave Call of Duty, go over to make the switch to Halo. I might share this clip for you guys right at the end of the video, and it's kind of interesting what he has to say about you know, basically like Call of Duty just got a bit stale. He actually enjoys playing Halo. Like Call of Duty, the developer support is just nowhere near what it needs to be. It's not designed for competitive at all, and understandable why he wants to make the switch. I think you can make it work most certainly, but there are other players trying to do the same thing. It really started in the European amateur scene. Like I'm pretty sure basically what happened was the CDL came up with some rule set that well, the rule set was basically broken. It wasn't what it was meant to be. There was a lot of quote-unquote mistakes in that rule set, and therefore a number of the European amateurs on a single day made the switch to Halo, and now it's kind of catching up in the North American side. Whether this happens to any of the players in the Pro League, that remains to be seen. I wouldn't completely rule it out, quite frankly, but especially within the next season or two. Mork's also having a good time on this game, most certainly, but and this I thought was also kind of funny from Gunless. Playing Halo has made me remember how video games can be. It feels so weird to actually have fun on a game, which kind of crazy to think about. A lot of the Call of Duty pros, you know, echoing similar sentiments, like, wow, okay, I'm just playing this game to grind it and to be good at it, but not actually enjoying my time. And that kind of is the thing, right? The players that actually enjoy Vanguard are probably going to be much better on this game than the other ones. Like Illy and Shotzi and some of the Ultra guys seem to be really enjoying their time. That might be a good indication of how this game's going to go. As Arstees goes, though, brother, Vanguard is out, grab a wager. Actually explains the last time we screamed, you couldn't even mess with me, right? So basically Arstees saying, look, Gunless can't even get close to me. LAG can't even get close to us right now. And yeah, it explains why if you guys aren't really having a good time on the game. But it doesn't seem like FaZe are having a particularly good time on the game either, right? So it is an interesting discussion as to exactly what this potentially means for how the competition is going to stack up this year. This is what Arstees had to say, though, about potentially guys like Morgs and others making the switch. He says that he didn't have anyone specifically in mind, but I thought it was a good tweet anyway. People switched to Halo and had no teamwork in COD, thinking it's going to be better in Halo LMAO. So that's the thing, right? Halo is not just about, I think a lot of people think, and maybe I was kind of guilty of this as well, that Halo, it's a lot about gun skill, right? You'll find a lot of the players that come over to Call of Duty from Halo have incredible gun skill because, well, the tracking that is required in Halo is very significant. At the same time, though, Halo is like all teamwork pretty much. Like, if you're team shooting with other guys, if you're trying to 1v4, like, you can maybe pull off a 1v4 with Call of Duty if you get lucky with how things go, because the time to kill so fast. There's no way you're ever pulling that off in Halo, even a 1v2. Like, if it's a straight up 1v2 gunfight, you're pretty much going to lose that every single time. So basically saying that, look, some of these guys that are trying to make the switch, they kind of sucked to their teamwork side in Call of Duty that wasn't where it needed to be. And people talking about Call of Duty a lot in terms of teamwork, right? How the best teams, they have the best teamwork. Toronto, for example, like, I think people maybe underestimate quite the skill and the strength in depth that Toronto have within their team, but they also had some great teamwork right last year, and that's really one of the big discussions as to why they were so good. Maybe you could argue punching above their weight in terms of getting top 3 every tournament, in terms of the talent on their roster, just because they meshed so well as an individual, well, core 4. And maybe some of the guys quitting Call of Duty to go to the Halo side, well, don't quite have what it takes in that sense. As Illy says, that's just not right. He had a good time looking at this one. JCap as well, you can add then at JCap415. Don't you ever try and slaughter my teamwork? My bad. You're right. Our teamwork was unmatched. Me, you, and Clay didn't bring the gunny, but teamwork, that's it, right? So, of course, Jacob alongside RCTs back on the E-United squad in the early part of Black Ops 4 before Jacob got dropped for Simp, and they went on to win playoffs and champs, but you can't really blame Jacob for that one because, I mean, yeah, Simp is Simp, I suppose, at the end of the day. This also I wanted to mention from last night because the scrim set we looked at earlier today, Optic versus Los Angeles Guerrillas, the first map they played was here on Berlin, and, well, I'm not sure if it was this map or maybe the time they replayed it. I'm not sure if they played Berlin again, but whatever the situation was, there was one of these maps where Scump just straight up got stuck in the floor. It was a really nice clip, quite honestly, from Scump. Like, he comes out, gets a nice little 3-piece up against Los Angeles Guerrillas, gets into this corner right here, and just gets stuck in the floor. Like, there's so many issues. Every single day, I'm seeing more tweets about issues within the game on the timeline, and, like, I'm sure the Sledgehammer Games guys are trying to get to this stuff. They're probably putting it on their, like, on their Trello board or whatever it is, and they're trying to upgrade it and get things through, but the issue is there's so many problems within the game. Like, what do they fix? What's at the top of the priority list? Because there were some, to be fair, issues with this last year. Like, in certain situations, let's say, what was it, on Moscow, right? On Moscow Search and Destroy, at least it was common in Search and Destroy, where there was that spot kind of near the defensive spawn, and that you could get stuck in the floor. There was also a spot, I believe, on Garrison, which sometimes happened in Control, where you could get stuck in the floor as well. So it has been an issue before, and to be fair, it took Treyarch quite a time to fix those, and the pros basically figured out, okay, let's just avoid this spot and not actually go there, just to try and make sure I don't get stuck in the ground. Maybe pros will figure out a similar thing for this one, right? Because it seems like a corner that you kind of want to sit in, but if you sit there, you have a risk of getting stuck in the floor, and I think there's more than one of these on Berlin, because I've seen honestly quite a few of these, I think, now on Berlin, that it can happen, you just get stuck there between some of these assets. So that is a bit of an issue. Scump is understandably pretty frustrated with it, and it just does make me wonder how long it is going to take for them to get to some of this stuff, right? Because, like, you know, the bomb glitch, that took them a long time to fix, and that was a massive issue within the game. All the other issues and the complaints a lot of the pros have with the game right now, like, those don't seem to be getting addressed particularly soon, and as a result, like, is this one going to get fixed anytime soon? It's, well, it's not exactly likely, it seems, at the present time. This other also just from Slasher Given, we're kind of on this topic today. These last few years of COD legit feel like a different esport to me. Went from playing Raid, Hardpoint, Warhawk, Search and Destroy to now Bocage, lol, what a time. Like, I do wonder if this map, Bocage or whatever, will last the test of time here in the competitive rules edge, just because it is so chaotic, at least in Hardpoint. Like, it is just run at the hill and see what happens. Like, I mean, Raid, Hardpoint, what a fantastic map. Warhawk, Search and Destroy, I'm glad he mentioned that one from Call of Duty Ghost, one of my favorite S&D maps of all time. It's just absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, we used to play great maps like this. Nowadays, it's not necessarily the case. Despite the 16 maps that came out with this game when it launched, we were like, okay, wow, we're going to get some really great maps in here, especially if they bring back some of the World War II ones. It hasn't really worked out like that. And that is the concern of mine, is that, okay, let's say they do bring back London Docks, they do bring back Saint-Marie Dumont or whatever, some of these World War II maps that were very good for competitive, I thought. Like, how are they going to ruin them, right? Like, what sort of destructible walls are they going to put in? What sort of doors? What sort of windows? Like, it might not play the same as it did back in the day. I think Parasite was even saying that in this game, it feels like you run around the map really quick. Like, your movement is really quick in this game compared to a game like World War II. Like, if you just drop us down on the World War II map, running how quick we do in this game, then probably it's going to play a lot different, and the timings are going to be different, and it might not work well at all. So a big question mark there, frankly, but that's the thing. I think a lot of pros are probably hoping that London Docks comes in relatively soon. They can swap out Bocage and make that thing entirely work. But as Clayster says in the reply, I thought this was, in a way, kind of sad to look at, but I thought it was some good takes, frankly, here from Clayster. It ain't COD anymore, brother. Things have changed dramatically. Like, it's not what it used to be, right? With a Warzone integration coming through and everything, it's changed how Call of Duty is. And Jake Hell kind of wondering, okay, are players going to actually switch over to Halo? Like, are any of the players in the league actually actually going to give this a go. And as Clay says, look, no chance anyone switches within the league. The best thing COD's going for it right now is the annual release. I think this is something that people probably underestimate to some degree, because it obviously has its pros and its cons, the annual release. Like, the fact of the matter is, the game is always in an awful state for competitive most of the time when the game launches. And if the game was around for longer than that and there was a game tailored to competitive play, then I'm sure it could be a lot better. The problem is if people stop playing that one, and also like more casual players aren't getting interested in it, it's not getting the support from the Activision side of things as well, then it's just going to die very quickly. That's kind of the thing that maybe happened with Halo, is that the game comes out for a few years, people stop playing it, then it dies off. As Clay says, on the one hand, if we have a solid, great game that everyone loved, the annual release hurts that one. On the other hand, if we have a not so great game, maybe this year, we only have 8 months of competitive play until the next one comes out, and then it's Modern Warfare 2022, baby, which I'm sure is going to be even better for competitive. Yeah, well, we'll see about that one. But yeah, right now, Clayster reckons it's actually helping us, the annual releases. I think a lot of people might say that, look, if this game kind of maybe eventually Activision decide, okay, do we move away from the one game a year model and bring out something which is kind of like a COD mobile type game, which, well, not actually on mobile though, but in an actual Call of Duty, which has kind of everything built in together, and that can be like the go-to competitive title. Now, whether that's the future of Call of Duty, I don't know. Hopefully, they're at least considering these options for a couple of years' time, I suppose. And just to finish off with this from Clinics, I thought was absolutely hilarious here on Berlin as well. A nice little, well, search and destroy challenge plays right here. This guy clutches a nice little 1 versus 2 with the automaton, and then, I mean, this is just incredible. His teammate says, yo, watch out for the barrel, and then he gets blown up by it. It's just, I mean, karma for shooting my body, to be honest. He wins the gunfight, and then misses shooting the body properly, and actually shoots the barrel instead, and then blows himself up. I mean, you simply cannot make this stuff up. Very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button, tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and I was like, you should see it as well, and upgrade the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
Nice, last guy's inside sight. 13. Oh my god! Watch out for that bear. Don't be you idiot. I'm clipping that. I'm clipping that.
Raised on Halo.
Competing in COD instead of Halo now? Why did you switch? Just wondering, you're nasty on COD. There's not very many opportunities anymore in COD, man. Like, there's a lack of support, and the game just is very stale. It's not made for competitive whatsoever, not made with any competitive interest in mind. It's just not very fun. And I was getting on the game every day with no passion and just not having fun. While I get on this game, you know, it's made with competitive interest in mind. It's so much fun. It takes a lot of teamwork, which is, you know, which is really satisfying for me, at least, to, you know, compete on a game like this. I don't know, man. It's just time for something different, you know?
You don't get credit either.